Gratitude for being here. Welcome. Namaste. Om. I was looking through the archives of sketchbooks and I found this question that I had been asked many years ago, about 7 years ago. And I was truly in that unbelievable bliss state. And none of this world mattered. And I stumbled upon this U.G. Krishnamurti. And something inside was extremely pulled in by this being's knowledge that had obviously came from something far deeper than he portrayed. U.G. chose not to speak about anything other than human. But the way he spoke was like a Vedanta, like a Upanishad, like Ramana Maharshi. Only thing is he spoke human about it and not about the truth or the consciousness or the freedom and liberation of being free from ego mind. U.G. wanted to destroy the ego mind. Not just his ego mind, but all ego minds. So I was an avid fan of U.G. Krishnamurti for this. And I found this in a sketchbook, and of course there's a question arising from it. And the questioner said, you made a video about U.G. Krishnamurti. What connection does he have to how you speak? You speak far more deep, far more profound, far more spiritual. But you admire his methods and his ways. Of course, I couldn't answer at that time because the human was not of no interest. The ego was of no interest. There was something far more deeper, far more profound, and the voice of God was waiting. You see, there's a pull, and that's what seeking's about. You're always going to get pulled into this fake, beautiful, angelic world, or fake shaman, or Vedanta, or Upanishad, or Zen, or Buddhism. But if you can see through that minuscule pools, and there's another pool, that longing, that pool inside, that umbilical cord that's pulling you from somewhere out in space, you will succeed. So the question basically is, now, I admired U.G. Krishnamurti because he spoke about this human God, this invented God, that is of no use to truth. It is of no use to the true God. And he named this God a system. But it wasn't about the content of what he spoke. It was about the experience of this system that appeared to be a reflection of this systematic God, that appeared to be a reflection of what human beings were seeking. And when you see now, 7 years on, God is absolute to this one. Absolute, incredible allness. It is no description. It cannot be said empty. It cannot take the sides of Vedanta or Upanishads or Buddhism or Sufism. It is beyond all that, you see. It's beyond all concepts and ideas and all minds and whatever. But when you come down to this grounded world and relinquish your wisdom to this intelligent personage again, you see this system that U.G. Krishnamurti speaks about is far more real to the ego mind than God. It's maybe a corrupt system, and it is a corrupt system. It is a controlling system because the idea is that God controls us. So let's make something up that they will follow that is godly. It has the traits and the personalities and all that they want from this God, that they know from this God. So the system is real. And we live, not we live, but the system lives within itself, because you become the system. You become systematic. You become robotic. But you cannot be totally robotic, because let's look at it now. Let's look at it like from your point of view now. Even if this system is totally robotic, something inside says no to artificial intelligence. So it cannot escape your true nature. It matters not about the system. The system will take over your life and take over, and you can obey it. You can love it. You can worship it. You can make it. You could be one of the systematic makers, the rule makers, the guidelines, how do we get them to work? How do we get their money? How do we do this? The people who put things out in advertisement and say, you must come and do this. This is going to be great for you, because really we want you to do all these things. Each one of us in our job may be part of that system, pulling our own self into that system. But when you become the system, when you become that systematic mind, and you forget about your true nature, until AI arises, oh my God, what about us? What about our human side? What about our being side? What about us? And that's when uprisings take over. That's why this earth and the people on this earth right now are uprising. It's not the systematic mind that's uprising. It is failing. It is beginning to dissolve. It is the consciousness, the true nature, the shaman, the simplistic human race, the human being that says, we don't like this anymore. And people like U.G. Krishnamurti started the ball rolling. All speakers have something to give, regardless of what you think. That's why this speaker, or this being, was drawn to so many speakers, so many Krishnamurtis, so many Oshos, so many Bombs, so many Adyashantis, Gangajis, Mujis, Papajis, Ramana Maharshi, Sri Nasargata Maharaj, Ananda Meya Ma. No guru was exempt, because they all have something worthwhile to say. Don't dismiss any speaker until you discover yourself.